And that was the Outlaw Devils with one of their new tracks, Hellbound. And speaking of the Outlaw Devils, before you have to wait, you don't have to wait to see them at the Roadhouse stage. I'm bringing one of them to you right now. Right now, of course, I am talking about my good friend Scott Baughn from the Outlaw Devils has decided to come out from behind the drum kit and join us tonight on Surviving Rocklahoma. How's it going, Scott?
Doing great. Come off of a weekend of two good shows in two different states.
Wow. So actually, and do me a favor, let's talk a little bit about that. What is the Outlaw Devils up to right now?
Well, right now we're in the middle of writing the second album. We've been pretty heavily engrossed in that, Gary and I. Mm-hmm. And like I said, we were Friday night. We were in Haltom City, Texas, at the Haltom Theater, and which turned out to be a really, really good show. Amazing. And or a really, really good shoe, however you want to say that. And then we were last night, barring any more automotive breakdowns, because we had both vehicles broke down at two different times coming in two different routes. But we did make it to Tulsa, and we played Badass Renee's last night, and had a gathering there for our Tulsa CD release. Weather was kind of crappy, so I do want to thank all the people that came out and braved the weather last night, because it was a light show when we were loading out.
Well, Jerry says he definitely got a little moist himself out there. So it wouldn't be a show if it wasn't the Outlaw Devils. You know, the good old boys of the bastard sons of rock and roll. And I like to throw that little censor in there.
Right.
So you guys have got this new album out. Tell me a little bit about it. Now, we've had a taste since last Halloween of Night Groove, and this is one of the newest tracks that I've heard from you gentlemen.
Right. The reason I went ahead and had you play that one is that's one of our heavier tracks for, some of the people at Rocklahoma that like, their rock and roll a little more on the heavy side instead of on the sleazy side. So that's kind of that's a heavy sleaze for us. And Jerry, who is also listening, I believe, he wrote that. He's a big movie buff, and he wrote that about the Hellraiser movies. And so it comes across pretty evil live, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So, and speaking of the bastard sons of rock and roll,
look at that beautiful thing.
Yeah, there we go. That's the new disc that we got in, and of course there's the rest of the guys on the back cover.
Oh my gosh. And I really do. I love watching you guys every time. You guys have just such a stage persona, you and Gary, Jerry, and Rob. And you guys are just your characters. Each of you are your own character, and I really like to see the way you guys come together.
Well, and we have such a good time. It's all of the stuff that we do, preparing for shows and writing albums and recording and rehearsing and traveling and everything else we do. That's the work. Mm-hmm. That's the work part. As far as the time on stage, it's the greatest drug ever invented to mankind. It is the most amazing time. It makes all the work worth it. Makes all the travel worth it. Makes spending, an hour under the hood of the tow vehicle at an AutoZone in Texas worth the time. So.
All right, so I'm sensing a little bitterness about it. So let's hear about this breakdown. What happened there? Is there a story behind it?
Yeah, not really. It's just I on my vehicle, the one we towed the equipment trailer with. Mm-hmm. I had a electronic fuel pressure sensor go out. Mm. It's about the size of a dragonfly, and it's got two bolts in it and two plugs, and it's $100 part,
And it's
and
just enough to pull the plug on your plans, but you still made it. So,
I went in and I bought one to replace it, brought it back out, put it on, and the little gasket that was in it had split. So it starts pumping gasoline out all over the engine when I start the truck. So I take it all off, go back in the AutoZone. They don't have another one. It's the only one they got.
oh no.
Oh, and they don't have gaskets for it. So the manager of the store starts running through trying to find a part with the same size gasket on it somewhere in the store. After he runs through the computer for about 20 minutes, he finds a part with a gasket, takes it off, puts it on, hands it to me, says, all right, go try that. So I go out, and Dan, my tech, we're out working on the car under a shade tree, literally. And I get it all put together, and I'm putting it back on there, and I'm saying to Dan, I said, there's got to be a torque setting on this thing somewhere because it's a plastic part.
Yeah.
It probably doesn't have to be too tight. About that time, I twist a bolt off down in the mount.
Oh no.
Little part. I'm like, Jesus. I'll take it off, get a pair of pliers, finally get the broke bolt out, go back into the store. Guy looks at me again. He's like, what now? Then you're not going to believe this. And I hold up 2 pieces of this broke bolt. And they don't have any bolts. I don't have bolts for them. They don't come with extra bolts. So he goes to the store, finally finds me a bolt, and we can't get the washer off the broke one. So he finally goes and gets a whole pack of washers off the stand, opens it up, hands me a washer, says, here, take this. Don't tell me somebody's going to open this and see there's only 35 in it instead of 36. Just take it and go. And I told him, so if you don't see me again, it worked. So next thing you know, we're finally on the road. But, Jerry had some computer issues with his truck that was messing with his transmission. But I think they finally got that reset and got it worked out. So,
and where were you heading for this?
And, Dan and I made it in with the gear about 15 minutes before load in.
Great. Well, at least you made it. You overcame all of that stuff, and I'm glad to have you guys who are many of you are jacks of all trade now, including some veterans among you.
Yes, sir. Gary Wofford, our guitar player, main riffist, writes all the riffs. He is an Army veteran, and he's spent a lot of time over in Europe. And then, of course, what he doesn't talk about a whole lot is when he did get out of the Army, he spent a lot of time, he stayed in Europe and toured with a couple of bands over there.
Wow.
So he spent a lot of time in Europe, playing through Italy and different places over there. And one of the odd things about when he was there touring, I was also touring overseas a lot at that time. And we missed seeing each other in Vicenza, Italy by one day at the same venue in this little city in Italy. He was there, I think, on a Friday, and we'd come through on Thursday. And we hadn't seen each other. This was in like 97, 98. And we hadn't seen each other since we'd been in a band together since like 1981. So if we'd have run across each other halfway around the world after not seeing each other that long, that would have been an interesting evening, to say the least.
I bet. Now, you guys have all been around, each of you in your own right, and you guys are amongst the toughest people I know. I know last time last time we hung out, Gary had come fresh off of some medical issues.
Yeah, so, he had actually suffered a stroke actually a few days before we did the filming for your show last year.
Mm-hmm.
So he had got out of the hospital on Wednesday, and I think we filmed that on a Saturday. So he's a tough old boy right there.
Oh my gosh! Now, you guys have been all over the place. You guys have pretty much flipped the bird to death. Tell me a little bit about your Rocklahoma history. This isn't the first time several of you have been on the stage at Rocklahoma.
Yeah, no, Rob and I, Rob been with me in a band called Rough Justice. We played Rocklahoma in 2012, 13, 14, and 15 on the Retrospect record stage. And then I was there on that same stage in 2016 and 17 with a band called Death Grip, which was, a bit of a kind of a Judas Priest meets Primal Fear type sounding band. And then due to my own medical issues, unfortunately, I was unable to even attend, let alone perform in 2018 and 2019. And then 2020, we were back with, the Outlaw Devils, which me and Gary got together and formed near the end of 2019. So it's kind of a rough road, but I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Sure. And now you came hot off of a successful, by all means, album release party last night for this new album. Do you have any surprise, anything that we haven't seen before from the Outlaw Devils prepared for your performance at Rocklahoma next week?
Well, we've got several new things that I won't really put out there. You'll have to show up to scope them out. But those people that have seen us live before, they're just going to see a slightly extended show with some of the material that we've not played yet off the album. And so we're going to kind of mix it up a little bit. That's one of the reasons I wanted you to play Hellbound, because a lot of the people that'll be at Rocklahoma probably haven't heard that song live.
Right.
And they've not heard it because it's not released as a single. So if they've got the album, they've heard it, but it's not been released as a single.
So where can they get that album?
Well, you can get the album from DSN Music, which is our label out in California. You can download it at just about any download media site. Oh, here, adjust that right there. There you go. And most any online media outlet, you can get Amazon and Spotify and all these different places digitally. We will have full merchandise and CDs, and we also have these cute little USB that has the album on it, has all the album artwork on it.
Oh wow! So it's a little thumb drive with your album.
Yeah, it's a little hard drive credit card. That's thanks to got that idea through a friend of Jerry's that's in a band overseas. So we went ahead and popped some of those out for the younger people that they don't really know what a CD is yet. That's for old people. Right. So they want just the computer stuff and the downloads. So
well, we're getting a lot of love in the comments about the purple goat. So
it's a little faded after the weekend, but you'll be able to see it from the moon come Rocklahoma. It'll be good and dark again by then.
Well,
after doing the shows and spending time under the hood, it's faded a little bit. So
well, sometimes you got to get all those that bad luck and all those gremlins out before something big. Yeah. And I'm glad you guys had such a successful album release last night, and I hope everybody's feeling it like they should. And you guys just please take care of yourself, because we don't want to take any more risks before we see you just over 7 short days.
Yeah, we're for more or less, we're off until Rocklahoma. Of course, we're kind of off anyway, so right. So that won't be a surprise to anybody. But I will say that I know we had a lot of talks over the weekend while we were out doing the shows, and spending time, as a band and at the hotels and in the after parties and so forth that occurred. Everybody I know and the rest of the guys are so excited. This will be Gary and Jerry's first Rocklahoma appearance.
Wow.
Like I said, me and Rob, we've been there several times, so we're kind of part of the family. So we're looking forward to. There's a lot of people there that we become friends with, and which that also brings me to a point. I do want to give a shout out to Kevin Graham, who I've known for years because of Rocklahoma, and I love the guy, and he's always treated me with the utmost respect. He drove 180 miles one way one time just to see Rough Justice on like a Thursday, and turned around and drove back.
Oh my!
So
gosh, now that's dedication.
He is one of the most dedicated rock and roll, and he's the same every time you see him. He's one of the happiest, most crazy guys I know. And I just want to give a shout out to him. If he happens to be listening, or his other half happens to be listening, he needs to get well. We want to make sure that he pulls through this and comes out stronger than ever, because he's a big part of the family. So we refer to him in the Outlaw Devils camp as Mr. Rocklahoma, actually. And there's a song in our set that we dedicate to him on a regular basis. Anyways, it's the second song in our set, and it reminded me so much of Kevin when Jerry brought the lyrics in when we were recording, that I'm like, I know just exactly who this song is about, and that's the way we've handled it ever since then. And we think of him and we pray for him, and every time we play that song.
I agree. And here, the man behind Mr. Rocklahoma, and
that's right.
Folks, if you've got them with you, if you could just hold them up with me. We're going to send a cheers along with all of our positive vibes to our brothers from another mother, Kevin, right. Mr. Rocklahoma himself, Kevin Graham.
I'll do it again.
Get well.
No alcohol in that, though.
Well, get well, buddy, and everybody else who is dealing with this nasty, nasty virus. And unfortunately, it's looking like each and every one of us is going to get it at some point in time. So the best thing we can do is just prepare and take care of each other and have, mutual respect and consideration for everybody else, regardless of how we feel about it. And thank you so much, Scott, for braving that pandemic last night for your album release. I am so excited to hear the thing from beginning to end, and I am even more excited to see you folks in just over 7 days. 11 days before
something like that. Yeah.
You're going to be playing again on the Roadhouse stage Friday night at 12:40 p.m. So you got an afternoon show, so that after that you get to come and party with all of us.
Yeah, it's going to be, and then I believe Thursday night we're judging the wet T-shirt contest at the Big Old Bus.
Woo!
So and then I think it's Friday night that they're having the oil wrestling that we've actually got VIP for that.
My man.
So several of us are we're anticipating a little oily splashes. We'll want to make sure we're that close so that we come out with a little drip. So.
Oh, okay.
Giggity.
There we go. He can't hear the sound effect, but I'll throw it out there for him. That was a good one. My man.
You never know what to expect.
Oh, I do.
And my wife goes the same way.
I do like to expect the kings of sleaze, the Outlaw Devils themselves, the bastard sons of rocking effing roll. We are joined by Scott, the drummer from the Outlaw Devils, who will be playing at the Roadhouse stage just over a week, just 10 or 11 days from now. And Scott, before we wrap things up a little bit, I like to give all of my guests their opportunities to give any shout outs or plugs or anything of that they might be working, or folks who got them along the way. And I'm going to tag one off, a bonus for everybody. What are you doing to prepare to survive Rocklahoma?
Well, myself, I've been surviving multiple sclerosis since 2013. So I already have a compromised immune system. So I've been prepared for this before it ever happened.
Wow.
I've had to change a lot of my entire lifestyle as a musician. I have to sleep more. I have to, take better care of myself. I have to cut out early on the after parties, or sometimes not attend at all. So right now it's just more of the same for me. I just, I wear a mask when I feel I need to, and I watch, what I do and where I'm at, where I'm going, and just take as good a care of myself as possible. I'm an old guy with a purple beard and no hair anymore. So, it's a cruel joke when, you can't grow hair on your head anymore, but you can grow it on your face.
Well, see, you didn't lose anything. It just relocated. At least it's still on the prime real estate, right?
Off the back of my head, but I just moved it around to the front now. Is all I did.
Yeah.
So
you got a reverse
I
mullet.
Like a blonde Gallagher for a while.
Well, at least you got a nice shine on the melon. So
that's right. And I pride myself on that buff. So, but you'll get to you'll get to see that when shiny skull, shiny cymbals, and all the good stuff that we bring into the show, and then a lot of shiny attitude. So I know the guys, I really, the three guys that are standing in front of me, they make my job easy. Cause we, everybody, like you said, is a unique personality of their own. Mm-hmm. We don't have a front man. We have 4 front men. Yeah. That's what we've got. So each person brings their own persona, and there's never a boring moment. We got a really, really, really good review from KNAC FM 105.5 in Los Angeles, the rock station there. Basically said that, the Outlaw Devils are a fun party from beginning to end. And, we take that seriously. We have a good time, but we're just doing what comes naturally to us. So it's not like it's any stretch of the imagination for us to get out and have a good time. We just want to bring everybody we can with us.
You bet. And you guys, you can join this party on a stage that is full of nothing but personality and a good time, and a little bit of sleaze while they're at it. So you never know the varying degrees of sweat or whatever you might be dripping with. As you come from an Outlaw Devils show, they will be playing the Roadhouse stage Friday, September 3rd at Rocklahoma, Labor Day weekend, and you can catch these guys. And be sure that you check them out on Facebook, you follow them, look them up on Spotify, and get yourself that album, and especially one of those little cool USB things. I want one of those. Scott, thank you. Go ahead, bud.
I want to we do, one of the things that we do the Thursday before, before the pre-party, Thursday during the afternoon, something that I've done with the other bands. We do what we call an afternoon campground crawl. And what we will be doing Thursday afternoon is, we'll be out in the campgrounds Thursday afternoon, going from campground to campground, campsite, meeting as many people as we can. hanging out with as many people as we can, getting to know as many people as we can, personally inviting them to come have a good party with the Outlaw Devils the next afternoon. That way we get to know everybody. So when we see people, waving at us and, or throwing something at us, whatever the case may be, we know these people because it is a big family, and we want to be part of the family. We want those people to be part of our family. So Thursday afternoon, everybody in the campground, look for us. We'll be out. There'll probably be a couple of us go one direction and a couple of guys go another direction so that we can cover the mass expanse of the Rocklahoma campground and see as many people as we can. And the other tradition that we have is the Wednesday night before that, we generally do a meet and greet at the Hard Rock Hotel here in Tulsa.
Nice. I hadn't heard of that before.
Yeah, we've been having it at Toby Keith's upstairs, but since that no longer exists, we will be doing it at there's a sports bar upstairs. I don't know the name of it. I've been through it a couple of times. That's where we will be Wednesday night, probably from about 7 to 10. People can come in. We'll have full merch there. You can get you a shirt, get you a CD, get it signed. And that particular event is designed for the people who are not going to be able to make it to Rocklahoma for whatever reason.
Wonderful.
Because there's, sometimes things happen and you don't get to make it. So we don't want to leave those people out either. So we do the meet and greet. We have a lot of people coming to Rocklahoma to come out and see us. So, but it's basically for the people who aren't going to make it. That way they get to see the band, talk to the band. We get to know them, they get to know us, and then we can catch them and they can catch us at another show, which might be October 2nd. That they might be able to catch us then. You see?
Oh wow! Well, that's awesome.
Well, Scott, we got that going too.
As we start winding down on time, buddy, once again, I thank you so much for joining me and always being the Outlaw Devils are such a huge supporter of surviving Rocklahoma, and it is my honor and privilege to return that favor, and some folks I believe in, and you guys are going to go far, and I have yet to see a performance where I didn't just have a total blast, and you will definitely have these locks rocking that day as I'm joining you over at the Roadhouse stage. Once again, Friday, Labor Day weekend at Rocklahoma. You can also get their new album. You guys have got a website, right? Your Facebook page. You can get all of those links.
The Facebook merchandise page. We've had some issues with, so let's just say, some tax issues and some other legal issues that I won't get into.
Oh, no.
That's kind of preventing us from kicking that off right now. But we're working, I personally am working pretty steadily behind the scenes, trying to make sure that gets done as soon as we can. So hopefully that will be done before Rocklahoma, but remember, we will have a full contingent of merch and CDs and USBs and shirts and stickers and all that good stuff that comes along with being a band. So we'll have all that.
You betcha. And once again, folks, you can see them live and with all the sleaze and all the ease of heading on over to the Roadhouse stage, brought to you by DEB Concerts. They'll be playing Friday. And then,
it's going to be, I don't generally like to guarantee things, but I guarantee you'll have a good time while we're on the stage, and hang out, party with us afterwards, and check out some of the other bands, because we're going to be there checking out we'll be checking out bands all weekend. So, and
you're also going to be in Stigler in a month or two, correct?
Yeah, that's that October 2nd I was kind of alluding to.
A little thing called Rock the Knocks down at Lake John Wells in Stigler, Oklahoma, and you can also see these guys, the Outlaw Devils, there as well. I'll be there with the mobile tent. so you guys can come and rock out with all of us. But until then, come and join us at the Roadhouse stage Friday, Labor Day weekend. You can see the Outlaw Devils, and you can see them playing that song that we just played before this interview, Hellbound. And that's the only other place you're going to be seeing it until you buy that album. Hint, hint,
Right.
wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Scott, thank you so much time. Unfortunately, we are out of time, and I appreciate you joining me so much. And until then, we will see you, buddy.
You betcha, brother.
All right.
Come out and see us, guys.